Welcome back to the WonderCat channel. We are going to be starting off 2026 with a bang. Today we're going over 10 cards, or card types more or less, that are just useful and worth considering when building our pauper lists. All of these could be considered your veggies. The necessary cards include to help your deck function. This list is in no particular order, so with all that said and done, let's get into the list with number one. Number one being memory setters. So some are naturally stronger than others. Why would we use a Taiki Kudo in a deck that doesn't use Digicross when Owen exists? It has inherent removal that can potentially delete a level 4 or lower whenever your opponent's security is removed from, which is an all turns effect, by the way. Battle NPC has become one of my favorite memory setters of the format, allowing you to not only have a memory setter on board, but it can help shape your hand, removing pesky extra rookies for another card, and in the event that you end up with no Digimon on board, he's a bona fide scrambling pauper, allowing us to crack him after memory setting us to 3 and playing the rookie underneath for free. I love Battle NPC, man. Violet In Boots is also an absolute cracker of a memory setter for purple, giving us a rummage effect every turn by trashing an option card. The fact that this particular effect isn't set to a specific colored option makes Violet an incredibly strong purple memory setter that can be flexed into any heavy option list. Number 2, memory boosts. It's a bit basic, but just like the constructed format, being able to save and invest your memory for later turns is just as important in this format. Luckily, the majority of these boosts can and do see marginal play, but there's two I do want to go particularly over here. The first one being Pride Memory Boost. Pride Memory Boost is unironically my favorite memory boost in this format. A 3-cost memory boost that allows us to play a play cost 4 or lower black Digimon that isn't trait restricted from the top 3 cards of your deck and then trashing the rest. There are so many high value targets that this card can hit, and with black being able to recycle its pieces through the likes of Altea, which is one of our better memory setters too, trashing those other cards just isn't really problematic. So we can net a +1 in memory saving playing a level 4 cost Digimon when played, and it gives us a 2 memory on a later turn, which makes it a 3 memory investment for up to 6 memory in value. It's also a card that wants you to gamble, or at least pay attention to the odds of you hitting a body off it, so playing it at the right time is just as important. Our other honourable mention is going to be Reinforcing Memory Boost. It's unfortunately limited to 1, but for good reason. It's a hefty 6 cost, but when played, revealing the top 2 cards of your deck, putting 1 on top of your security, and adding the other to your hand. On delay, granting us 3 memory. It's the only boost in this format, giving us a +3 on delay, which is pretty cool. This card is essentially like you pretty much got to include it in any yellow list, since it's our only yellow memory boost that isn't it's the only one that is generically good. Our other 2 are just so centered around they're actually both related to the Pulsemon deck, so they're not as good, and Reinforced Memory Boost can really swing a turn. The max benefit you get out of this being able to top sec one of your tamers so that you're guaranteed a utility piece the next time your opponent checks you with a security swing, or throwing an option in there that has a sweet security effect, making it a big bomb, really bumps up the force and the strength of Reinforcing Memory Boost. Number 3 is going to be Heaven's Judgment. This card is S tier removal. It's a pure yellow card that will ignore color requirements as long as you control a green Digimon or Tamer, meaning you don't even need to play it in a yellow deck. It's a 7-cost option, which can be expensive, but taking a turn off to nuke your opponent's entire board is well worth that investment. This is a -6k, then an additional -6 for each color of Digimon on your board. So playing this in Dinos, for example, our little EX8 Agumon turns this thing into a -6, -6, -6, allowing us to delete a potential level 6 and a level 4 or lower, or just wiping every rookie off the face of the planet that they have on board. Heaven's Judgment is also an amazing security threat, -12k, a single Digimon for no cost. This card's name is incredibly fitting, being it is like being smited in the art, and has given a close friend of mine PTSD, both in Pauper and in Constructed, where I ran this in my Argomon control list. If you're playing yellow or a green multicolored list, you're probably playing with this card. Number 4 is going to be Terriermon or Lotmon from EX4. These two cards are just so crazy strong as just generic green rookies. On play, digging 4 cards instead of the usual 3, it's going to allow us to add any 2-color Digimon, which makes it an amazing searcher, and will add either a Shu or a Henry Wong to hand depending on the version you're playing. Technically, at least in this format, Lotmon is going to be much more higher rated because we have no legal Henry, but we have 2 current Shus that we're able to play. They're inherited, allowing us to Digivolve up into a 2-color green Digimon for cheaper whenever a Digimon is suspended for Alliance, is also like crazy wild tempo. With a couple level 5s in this format having Alliance, we can trigger this and then Digivolve into a level 6 mid-swing for the small cost of usually only 1 memory. I am always cooking with these cards because they're just such good like utility searches in green, and anything that wants to use Alliance, which is one of green's major win cons in Pauper. Number 5 is going to be our free memory options. Kind of self-explanatory, but the options that give free memory are still, for the norm, quite good in Pauper. In a format where you can't typically combo up into a level 6 for free like you can in Constructed, loaning memory from a Gravity Crush, or having your opponent's Digimon give you memory on deletion with Tropical Venom, these cards are usually auto-includes when space permits. Though it's not always so cut and dry, since some of them have a lack of security effect that does impact their playability. Hammer Spark is much stronger overall than Tropical Venom. Venom is conditional on destroying your opponent's Digimon, and even then requires them to have one, whereas Hammer Spark is a free just +1 memory, and if it's checked in security, it's a free +2. Whenever you're deck building and looking at potential options, always take these cards into consideration if your deck is falling short on memory gain or manipulation, and if you can truly abuse them. Number 6 is going to be HPD. Piggybacking off number 5, HPD can fall into a similar category but fulfills a different style of free memory. Yes, the card can net you a potential 5 memory in savings, which is just insane potential, but again, it's highly conditional. Gotta love highly conditional green cards, love it. Typically, you want 2 bodies on board so that you can suspend your smaller Digimon to free Digi up your larger one to a level 6 or a level 7. We currently don't have level 7s in this format. Whereas if you don't, you're typically locking down your level 5 or level 6 by suspending that Digimon. Because this card can only be used to reduce the cost of Digivolution, its usage is much more restricted and therefore not nearly as strong as being able to just generate free memory that can be used on anything. Even if it were up to 4. So if you think about most of these free memory options being able to give you 2 memory, and you say, hey, we can double it and give it 4, but you can only use it for Digivolution, you're still having to suspend something too, so yeah. With that in mind though, it's still an incredibly strong option. It's limited to 1 because Digivolving for free at the cost of suspending 1 Digimon is typically still a very worthwhile trade. Number 7, Kaizenale and Tidal Wave. Putting them in the same spot here since they're functionally the same, just one of them being scaled up. Both of these cards are designed around the overall arcing theme of most blue archetypes, putting materials into their stacks and playing them out for an alternative cost. Through the likes of BT11 Penguinmon, we can put a Zhang Pengmon underneath it to draw a card, then proceed to play it out from underneath Kaizenale for a cost of 4. This is a turn 1, level 6 2-check machine, if you're given 3 memory going second. Kaizenale and Tidal Wave are limited only by your ability to put high value blue Digimon into your stacks. Their true power definitely lies in their security effects, being able to activate their main effects during their opponent's turn, Tidal Wave playing 2 Digimon out from your materials for free. These aren't going to be instant 4-ofs in most blue lists, but most blue lists will be looking at these 2 cards as possible inclusions. They're very fun to build around and play, and push blue decks towards having more on-play effects for this sort of added value and synergy. Number 8 is going to be level 6 reduced cost top ends. This is a bit of a wide generalization, but typically the best way to win a game is to either outvalue the opponent or just be faster than them. Within the last year or two, we've been given quite a few level 6 Digimon that have clauses stapled onto them that just make them significantly cheaper to play. And with this built-in effect, makes them much more reliable to just hard slam into play, and they're no longer just dead draws. Both top-end Axel pieces, Bancho Leo and Varudoramon, reduce their play cost by 5 if you control another Axel, making them incredibly memory efficient with their respective cores. CS Bancho Leomon has a reduced cost of 5 if your opponent has a Digimon with DP 10k or higher, basically saying, I'm ready to fight the opponent's biggest threat. The Zaxxon traded Sakuya and Phoenixmon both have reductions of 5 as long as you control a Zaxxon Tamer, turning them into a 6 play cost level 6 with some great on-play effects. Whilst these aren't necessarily staples, these level 6 become excellent top-end choices for building around or supporting other game plans. One of the reasons Axel dominated the original pauper format with the introduction of Regulation Format Volume 1 was because the pressure Bancho Leomon presented off being played with a Singularity of Chaos, becoming a 5 cost D-Digi2 minus 5k a body, all the whilst being a huge 12k threat. It is very easy to put a clock on your opponent when your top end is played for the same cost as some level 4s. Number 9, Rowdy Rocker and Fireball. Now, these cards, they feel like a bit of a cop-out. I'm slightly biased towards them, but, these cards, at least in my opinion, are the epitome of fun game design. Rowdy is a 2-cost red option that by placing a level 4 or lower red Digimon card underneath one of your Digimon as its bottom material, draw 2. Fireball, a 2-cost red option that deletes a 3k or lower Digimon. If it doesn't, draw 2. Both cards increase the speed in which red runs through their deck, but I particularly love the utility of Rowdy Rocker, being able to beef up one of your Digimon and draw you extra cards. Funnily enough, the card feels very much like a blue effect. Rowdy Rocker is great for low-to-the-ground aggro lists, while Fireball is just a good answer of a card. It's commonly used to help deal with pesky Floodgate rookies, or draw extra cards in a pinch. It even sees play in the constructed format. And number 10, going to be Waltz's End. One of the few options in the game outside Heaven's Judgment that has a huge cost, and yet I'm always thinking about playing it in black lists. Giving a Digimon you control protection from options for return, and when suspended during your opponent's next turn, delete everything with the same or lower play cost. This card is so much fun to build around, play with, and with black's access to both blocker and abilities that force attacks, Waltz's End is a true potential board wipe in the pauper format. But we're going to finish off with a couple of honorable mentions. We have Demonic Disaster, a 1-cost option in purple, deleting a Digimon to unsuspend one of your purple Digimon. It's a sweet card, great in go-wide aristocrat-style decks. We've got Beast Cyclone, a 3-cost black option, giving all Digimon you control with blocker or reboot Sec +1 for the turn. This, with the new Machine Drug, can apply crazy value, and it's just a great option for aggro black decks. And our last one, because no list in Pauper would be complete without discussing the only ace in the format, Raidenmon Ace. It's a great combat tool, having blocker and collision. It's a free D-Digi-1 on attack. Green and black decks being able to play this puts all other colors on the back foot and force you into a multicolored top end if you want to play this card in your list. Hopefully, going through all this, this video hasn't gone longer than 15 minutes. I wanted it to be informative, short and sweet. This also gives me a baseline for what I see as good heading into 2026, and means that towards the end of this year, we can see how my thoughts have changed. If cards have been pushed out of relevancy, if we have more aces, if more people just end up playing Raidenmon Ace because they want to play more green or black multicolored top ends, who knows. Thanks for sticking around. I hope these standout cards help you in your pauper making journey, and I will see you in the next Wondercat channel video. Ta-ta.